All right. So we rolling? Yeah. Okay. So I thought about something while I was like a really good way to explain all of this. And into the stars today. Listen to this.
Couple of them. This was from The Stand.
The movie The Stand. And it's got all the smiley faces and he's going on and on about the smiley faces. Why was the movie called The Stand? Because it was about an illness. There's nanotechnology in the poke poke, and nanotechnology connects to 5G technology. So, what was this? A television series? It was not a movie, it was a TV series. Okay, there it is. After the world is in ruins due to a man made illness, I have to be very careful about what I watch, what I say. I mean, a battle of biblical. What do you think the stand is about? And it's got a cross right here. Did I get it mixed up with the? Oh, that's in Matthew. I want to go 15 through 24 at least. But you want to read all of it. There it is right there. Stand. When ye therefore see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. That's what the stand is about. It's all about the stand. It's all about the Antichrist standing in that coming third temple. And I've shown you all the pictures of Mike Pompeo overlooking the architectural renderings of this coming third temple. We've been over this many times. And Trump is on 2 temple coins. It's Mike Pompeo. He's overlooking the coming third temple, and Trump is on 2 temple coins. So don't forget, in Daniel 9:27, he stops the daily sacrifices. Well, where in the world do you think that is? There's the other temple coin he's on. The daily sacrifices would be in a temple. And you're like, well, our body's the temple. Our body? Are you sure about that? Because it's only in a predestinated, elected sheep's body. The broad way are born goats, the narrow way are born lost sheep. Goats are born goats, sheep are born lost, but they're born sheep. You just have to go through living a very sinful life until the Lord calls you, like Saul was killing Christians until the Lord called him on the road to Damascus. You have to get the call. That is your baptism. So most of y'all already know all of this. So let's get to what hit me today. People want to know, they're like, well, fallen angels have always been able to, or through demons or demonic possession, have always been able to enter into humans, like the movie The Exorcist and so forth. Well, I don't really know how prevalent all of that is today. See, back then, in Jesus's time, there were healing, laying on hands, all kinds of things, speaking in tongues that are no more. Now, these things, when the abyss is opened, more than likely will come back, which is what happens at the abomination anyway. Everything has been opened back up, let's say. That's why they love the 9:11 Bible verse, Revelation 9:11, but also Revelation 11:7, the angel out of the bottomless pit. Let's go to it. Revelation 11:7. The beast ascendeth out of the bottomless pit and shall make war against them. That's what your 7-Eleven store is all about. So, but people, regardless, somebody asked me today, they're like, well, they've always been able to do that. What makes that so special today? You see, through the technology, remember, he likes to use the word sting for the poke, Enter the Stars does. And Sting was the name of the lead singer of the Police, who gave us the album Ghost in the Machine. Ghost in the Machine is what they call artificial intelligence, but it's the fallen ones in the technology. Now, why would the fallen ones want to be in the technology? So they could show mankind, as they need the humans to run this earth for them, to bring them in through this manner. Remember, it's iron mixing with clay. Iron is the machine. Iron mixing with the miry clay. Clay is the humans. And it says, shall mingle themselves with the seed of man. There is no changing of your DNA. They're going to enter into the human host body. That's why there's no turning back. There's no ability to repent. They cannot change their minds. They're no longer themselves. That's why when you take the mark, you receive eternal torment day and night forever and ever, because it's the demons. It's the fallen ones that receive eternal torment day and night forever and ever. The wages of sin is death. Humans get raised, judged, and receive a second death, which is no different than the first one, when they were asleep in the dust of the earth. No, you don't go with the Lord when you die. You're asleep. The parable of the rich man and Lazarus was just that. It was a parable. You don't get your doctrine from a parable. It's a parable. So the question was, why? Why do they need this technology? Can't they just enter into a human being without it? In Jesus' time, Jesus was casting out devils. They were already entering into. That was then. Remember, so like it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man return. How was it in the days of Noah? You had fallen angel, human hybrids called Nephilim. There were giants in those days. That's Genesis 6, 1-9. Men of renown, mighty men, men of renown. There were giants in those days. That's why you got the New York Jets and the New York Giants. New York Jets, what hit the Twin Towers? The Jets. The Giants, it's talking about, both are about the Antichrist. Because it'll be like it was in the days of the giants all over again. So let's go back to the question. So why do they need the technology? This whole technology thing is being, this whole fallen angel thing, this whole living forever thing is sold to the humans that run the earth. It's not flesh and blood enemies that you have. It's principalities. It's the fallen angels. The Police did an album titled Ghost in the Machine. Their lead singer was named Sting. It's through the Sting. It's through the nanotechnology that's in the Sting that connects you to the 5G technology, the number for Antichrist in Strong's Concordance is G500. Thank you, Jamie. G500. G500. The Daytona 500, Trump rode around the Beast, it was called, at the Daytona 500. Why do they need the technology? The question was asked. These entities are selling, improving, and showing that the way man will reach godhood is through the technology. And remember, it's the iron mixing with the miry clay. Iron, machine, clay, man. The potter's clay out of Romans 9:11 through 24, that explains the fairness of God choosing his from the foundation of the world. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. They're going to overtake the human host body and use it as an avatar. And they are going to have superhuman powers. They are going to be, that's what the superhero movies are about. That's what the superhero movies are for. There was even a movie called Iron Man. What helped him build his machine? His artificial intelligent computer. In other words, the ghost in the machine taught him how to be a superhero. Don't you understand? So the movie The Stand, the ghost in the machine, the police, Sting. What other song did the police have that was famous? Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. The fallen angels can already see you now from the spiritual realm, but the humans do not enjoy that ability. Through the AI technology via the computer, the humans will be able hang on just a quick second. Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. The police. Same people that gave us the Ghost in the Machine album. The Stand. Stand in the holy place. When you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Why does it say let them which be in Judea? Because that's where the holy place is. That's where the third temple is going to be built. Because to the Jew, a temple, a man-made temple, is still the holy place. And to the Jew, they still keep the Torah. They don't believe in Jesus, but they will be awakened. Right now, they are blind to the truth. And look at all these people that give them no credit. All right, I completely lost track. I heard somebody, I had my door open at my condo because I was about to do a lot of trash and stuff. And I stopped because it sounded like somebody was listening, and water just went down the wrong pipe. Hang on just a second. Jeez. Sitting here about to drown. Okay. I forget where I was, but I remember saying sting. Every breath you take, every move. That's what it is. They want to be able to show the humans, they're showing off, and they're showing the humans all these great things that they're doing for these people to rule the world. Never realizing that they're being tricked and fooled. And all they're doing is following the Lord's script. And every single thing that's taking place, I can show it to you in the Word of God. Problem is, all these 68,000 subscriber YouTube sites, like Logic Before Authority or Enter the Stars, they're all making you think that the poke is the abomination, that it is the MOTB, Mark of the Beast. It's impossible. Is it being used to connect you to the technology? And being connected to the technology is part of the mark. Yes, but it's not the mark. And put it to you like this: if a sheep took the poke, the fallen ones, they're not going to worship the image of the beast. You have to worship the image of the beast when the Antichrist returns from the dead. Oh, this is what I was going to show you. For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery. Folks, it's a mystery. Lest you be wise in your own conceits. All these Christians are like, there ain't no such thing as a temple anymore. We're the temple. We're? Are you a sheep? Or do you celebrate Christmas and celebrate? You might as well be a Buddhist if you believe in free will, if you celebrate Christmas. You got the wrong, if you ain't got the right, Jesus is the truth. If your truth is God loves everybody, and you have to make a free will decision, lest you boast that you did the works of salvation. No, Jesus did it on the cross. Okay. And then what? Well, then I have to make a free will decision to choose. Oh, really? So you did it. You're no longer under grace. Grace is nothing you did. And you never were under grace if you don't have the truth, because grace is having the truth. For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery, lest you be so wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to the Jewish remnant bloodline. In this particular case, they call it Israel. Israel, throughout the New Testament, just means the church, and the church just is Israel. But Romans 11 specifically, which is also on my playlist, Mark of the Beast, knowing for sure, I would watch that. It's a 4-part series. That's a whole series that goes through what I'm telling you today with so much more. But watch the Romans 11 study. It's a 2-video playlist series. And watch No Free Will, John 3:16, falsely written and taught. One of the videos is Free Will is Catholic in that playlist. And I'll prove it to you from A to Z that free will is Catholic. I digress. Blindness in part has happened to this Israelite bloodline until the fullness of the Gentiles, until the very last non-Jewish remnant bloodline comes to the truth, which I believe will take place at the abomination of desolation time, which is when their blindness is lifted. And they are told to what? Flee Judea. Are they all in Judea? No. There's some remnant all over the earth. The circle of the earth, there's remnant. But those in Judea flee. It says, then let them which be in Judea, not all of them are in Judea, but why do they need to flee Judea specifically if this is just about getting a sting in your arm? Because the abomination is in the holy place in Judea, where Trump is on 2 temple coins. Why do you think they stop the daily sacrifices? But again, this was about, I've been doing a lot of videos on this lately, but this is about why the technology. Because they're able to do every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. They're able to track all humans during World War III. I mean, especially the sheep. The sheep are the ones they want to track. They do not care about tracking goats. And you're like, well, you've lost your salvation if you get the poke. No. The mark of the beast in your right hand or forehead, we just read in today's Bible study on my Bible study channel, which is called Daily Bible Studies. And trust me, you won't be able to find that on a search. The AI has hid me very well. But on today's Bible study, we just covered that. That day shall not come except there come a falling away, and the man of sin be revealed. How's he going to be revealed? Through a poke in the arm? This son of perdition? No, he opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he's going to pretend to be God, sitteth in the temple of God. And you're like, well, the temple of God is our body. Are you a sheep? Because the temple of God is inside the body of a sheep. And a man who is the Antichrist cannot stand inside of a sheep's body, and only a sheep's body is the temple of God, and the Antichrist can't stand inside of a sheep's body. A man can't stand inside anyone's body, showing himself that he's God. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? What things? Why would he know to tell them? Well, because Jesus said them. When ye therefore see the abomination of desolation, Jesus told them these things. Let him which is on the housetop not even come down to take anything out of his house. When? After you take a poke in the arm? Neither let him which is in the field return back to go get his clothes out of his house. Woe to them that are with child and are breastfeeding in those days. Pray that this doesn't take place in winter, for then shall be great tribulation. Well, I don't know. After everybody's getting poked, is the great tribulation taking? No. All this has to be taking place at Mark of the Beast time. It is in a holy. Let's get back to the technology. That's what y'all are here for. That's what y'all want to know about. That's what this lady asked about today. Why the technology? Because it's that whole A to Z process. And don't forget, let's just run it through 37. But as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man be. What was it like in the days of Noah? Fallen angel, human hybrids known as Nephilim. There were giants in those days. We already talked about that. New York Jets, New York Giants. Because they will be mingling themselves with the seed of men. They will be running around inside the human host bodies, whacking the heads like superheroes off a sheep. That's why Jesus has to cut those days short. All people need to do is be connected to the technology, and they're all going to want it because God has sent them a strong delusion that they will believe a lie. Oh, jeez. How come I can't find anything today? There it is, the very last one. And for this cause, God shall send them a strong delusion that they will believe a lie. What's the strong delusion? The strong delusion is a deception so great in so much that if it were possible, the very elect would be fooled. There shall arise the false Christ, the Antichrist, and the false prophet. Why are there S's on the end of it? Absolutely no reason whatsoever. Just another mistranslation. When you look them up, it's singular. False prophets, G5578. One who. A false prophet, singular. False Christ. A false Christ or Messiah. One who falsely. It's singular. Why is it written plural? Because the King James Bible is not the perfect and word for word word of God in truth. John 3:16 is falsely translated. The word cosmos, Erasmus chose the wrong definition. God doesn't love the whole world. He loves the top definition of cosmos, his harmonious arrangement of choosing his sheep before the foundation of the world. If your Jesus loves the whole world, you got the wrong Jesus, and Jesus is the truth. That means you've got the wrong truth. You might as well be Hindu. You might as well be a Buddhist. You're just in another fake world religion. And don't tell me you drag that Christmas tree and that pagan tree where they specifically tell you not to do. You're a pagan, aren't you? And you're going to question me nonstop when I tell you the poke is not the mark of the beast. Right hand or foreheads? We just did the Bible study today. That's what I lost track of. $144,000 having the Father's name written on their foreheads. Forehead's your frontal lobe. They call it the pineal gland area. Sheep don't use pineal gland. The pagans do. The Bible just stipulates foreheads. Mark of the beast goes to the forehead. God seals his on their forehead. This is spiritual, folks. Through the spirit world, the demonic entities will enter through the technology. G500, 5G. G500 is the number for Antichrist in Strong's Concordance. 5G technology, G500, 5G, G500, 5G, G500, 5G, G5, 5G, G5, 5G. Putting something backwards is nothing to them. Aleister Crowley told them to do it. That's why Michael Jackson moonwalked backwards. Do everything backwards. Remember the McDonald's commercial? 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. They taught us in a commercial how to say it backwards. I used to know it. Bun, seed, sesame, on onions, pickles, cheese, sauce, special, patties, beef, all 2. I had that memorized as a kid because I was taught how to say it backwards. It's what they do. G500, 5G, G5, 5G. The zeros mean nothing to them. G5, 5G. Trump signed 5G and beyond and gave us Space Force. Space equals aliens, equals fallen angels, equals artificial intelligence, equals ghost in the machine, equals G500 technology, equals mark of the beast, equals abomination that causes desolation in a physical, man-made, coming third temple in Israel. I have 30 new subscribers because I went on Logic Before Authority's channel, started pitching a fit. I think possibly, look, I've got new questions. 7 minutes ago, 9, I've been back and forth with these people. Peace to you and your family. What else did she say? Struggle with the flesh, Romans and Romans. Paul vividly describes a struggle with the flesh. I can't wait till I give her. No. Allow me to give you my Romans 7 study playlist link. Isn't that something? She went right to it. Right to Romans 7, and the good Lord allowed me. All right, welcome everybody. The Revelation, I I hate my own voice. Not a fan. Everything is explained. Any questions, just ask. This is all, every bit of this is from
Deliver you up.
that Logic Before Authority video. He's got 68.4 thousand subscribers. As my friend Justin says, the AI will not push a channel telling the truth. Is he controlled opposition? Could be. She said something else too. If I'm intimate, Jesus, I keep the commandments. I keep, oh, she's the one that I think keeps the Torah. And I gave her my email and really pleaded with her not to do that. If I'm to imitate Jesus, keep the commandments, and I keep God's laws and God's feasts, not man's traditions lead you to hell. I can't type. Obviously, y'all see that. Boy, she laid a lot on me, didn't she? Only if you can explain these verses. Oh boy. Look what everything she gave me. She cut and paste something, didn't she? It's about if you go on sinning. All sheep are brought through the salvation process. I can, yes, explain it. Romans 8, 29 and 30. It's that simple, isn't it, y'all? Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. That's what the swastika is for. The German swastika used at Christmas time. The swastika is nothing but the wheel in the sky. The swastika in the heavens. The swastika is a pagan symbol. The Nazis were just pagans. The mysterious origins of the swastika. It's nothing more than like a Hindu Buddhist thing. They're not showing us it in the heavenly realm. The swastika in the stars. There you go. But they're still not actually showing you the planets. But there it is. It's it. There's the North Star. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. That's what it is. Why did I get on that subject? I'm all over the place. I'm doing two things at once. I'm trying to message her. This is what I do all day. I told y'all when I get off for the summer, I'm going to have a lot of time to do stuff. I started getting lazy in my Bible studies. I wasn't putting nothing on any of my channels. Now I'm off. Now I got all this energy. That's your A to Z process. Sheep who, what do we want to get her? What do we want to impart on her with that? All the sheep who were what? Chosen before the foundation of the world. Which is what grace is. So you know what we're going to give her next, don't you? When she starts reading them, she might think she's seen it 1,000 times, but she's got to make sure she reads verse 10. That's the one they don't give you in the fake pulpits. Verse 10 being the key verse. This process that I speak of was defined the New Covenant passage. Where's that at? Jeremiah. Again, we're in Jeremiah. We just did the Christmas tree in Jeremiah. Did we finish that Christmas tree? Well, the custom of the people are vain. One cut of the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. So when you go, my body's the temple of God, are you sure your body is? Are you dragging that pagan tree into your house? Deck it with silver and gold? Lock it down to where the tree doesn't move? Cut it from the forest? The swastika at Christmas time. Christmas Eve, that the swastika was the ancient symbol of the sun, and Santa Claus was the Christian reinvention of the Germanic god Odin. Learn not the way of the heathen, and dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Sirius, the dog star. They're all about everything in the sky. It's too much if I give her all 4 verses because each verse is packed. Each verse is like its own paragraph. Her eyes will cross. Just like, you notice how she gave me too much to read? She basically cut and paste a bunch of stuff, more than likely. Look how big just those 2 verses are. If I gave her all 4 verses, and I like to make things easy on the eyes. Even like on my Facebook post, I'll chop them up. People sometimes they'll just type and type, and it is all together, and it's like, I can't read that. I hope I've answered everything. I hope I've gotten every notification of everything that everybody's asked me. From Logic Before Authorities. Yeah, that one I did. Yep. I think this is the one that made me do the video today. The physical DNA of the sheep is changed in a man from he enters into the temple declares. Could it be that once? No, it was another one. It was another question somebody asked me today that made me do this video. She was like, "Can't they already do that?" Yeah, this is where she tells me she keeps the Torah. Anyway,
there's a new addition to the royal.
Let's go over your comments. $18 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 21 hours ago. I haven't addressed any of these. One day ago. I haven't gotten any of these. My goodness. All right, y'all can log off if you want. I'm just going to go through these and I'll go over them with y'all if you want. I see a lot of Torah keeping people nowadays has grown tremendously, not eating pork, etc. I don't eat pork because it's unhealthy, not because it's a sin. Exactly. I eat bacon, but that's about it. That lose your life. What Yahweh deemed unhealthy for man to eat is still unhealthy for us to eat today. That's amen. Justin's strong. I like his stuff. Thank you for this. You got it. Ms. Swale or Mr. Swale. Oh, Jamie's here. God, I got a lot of stuff I haven't addressed. A winter to remember. I like them. They always give good comments. Let's see what they got. I posted back in March regarding the number 102. About halfway through, you will see how they encoded the 666 in the number 102. Check it out if you haven't already. I am absolutely not sure what you're talking about. Oh, they posted the video back in March. Well, then I need to just go to their site and look for it. A winter to remember back in March. Should be able to find it. I've never even watched their videos. I need to check them out. Got about exactly as many as I do on my Bible study channel. So bless your heart. 2 months ago, 3 months ago would be March. Antichrist building. I don't know which one it is. Winter. April, May, June, 3 months ago. And we've got 2 months ago and 4 months ago. And I got 3 of them 2 months ago and 2 of them 4 months ago. So I don't know which one you're talking about. So help me out. Please don't hesitate to reply back. You know what they should have done? Can you give me the link? And I posted a video back in March regarding the number 102. See, nothing there says 102. Let's just see if
In many respects.
see that's February. They did no video in March. Unless the 2 months ago was March. Let's see if 2 months ago was March. Yeah, March 13th. I think I watched this video. The number 102. This is it, probably. Because they're doing numbers. How they embedded 102 in 666. This video was like, that video was like over my head. And I think they play music through their videos, and I like to hear people explain stuff. I'm visual, but I like to be told what's going on in the visual, so I know what to look for in the visual. Good stuff though, Winter. I love you. I always appreciate your comments. I just wish I knew more about what you were talking about there. On the video, I think there's music to it, right? And I wasn't able to grasp it. I think I watched it. I remember because when I skimmed it just then, I remember seeing it before. Jamie said, "Well, it may not be the mark of the beast, but it is diabolical and wicked. It is poison, and I won't be getting it. I am not convinced we have the complete understanding of the verses of Daniel. I believe Jesus is the one who caused the sacrifices to cease." Well, he did via his death. Jesus did stop the sacrifices to cease in truth, but the remnant still keeps them. And so the Antichrist does a Jesus duplicate. He also stops the sacrifices in the third temple. I get that. Makes sense. Thanks for that info. Helps me even better to see this big picture. But we do know that to the Jew, the man-made temple is, well, anyway, when you've watched this whole Bible study, Jamie, watch the video. I'll be releasing around 4 p.m. This post of yours is in it. Thank you for this. You're most welcome. So are you getting the poke? Asking for a friend. Future poke to prevent knowledge of the soul and spirit. See, it's not biblical. I'm sorry. No. It's just people are just getting twisted. They're all of these psychological operations that are taking place, and everybody's just getting duped. You see why I'm making this video. than a worshiping of the image of the beast. World War III hasn't even begun. Red, black, pale horses. And the Antichrist return stops. Long story. What I say to people is either going to resonate and they're going to come on board, which is what happened with the people that have come on board and followed me and stayed with me. And then some will come and some will go. Trey the only live. Trey the only live. I am fascinated. God has put my on a heck of a journey. Since 2014, I've been just like you and am really close to your conclusions, and your videos literally are answering all of my unsolved riddles. Dude, I need to contact you, please. Well, of course. Thou sayest, JL said. I have no idea what that means. The level 44 said, dude, thank you. The hokey pokey is not it. More has to happen. Well, of course. See, that person is biblically sound. Biblically sound. He returns from the dead. He's in no need of a woman. But today is not that time yet. First death, first deadly wound by the sword, then healed as he returns after World War III. I believe that World War III is kicked off when he dies. Did I answer his question? Yeah. Can I get the Mars video? What is a Mars video? It's transhumanism. Thumbs down. No, it's not. That's a psyop for the coming mark of the beast. And look for my newest video around 4 p.m. Your comment here is in it, along with all explanations. Just leave it at that. You see why I keep making these videos? Because everybody's still lost. Well, I don't mean everybody, but you know what I mean. Another proof you don't need to be baptized in water is the good thief on the cross. Jesus said, And to him, verily I say unto thee, thou shalt be with me in paradise. Very, very true. He will be in paradise, was never baptized by water. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. But we know he was baptized by the Holy Spirit. Great job, Justin. Nice work. That was good. Trade the only live. Any thoughts on COVID and the deviation of all nations being the wound to be healed, and the nations represent on the head of the beast, don't they? Of the crowning of Megalodon, Poseidon, Armageddon. Oh, Poseidon, Armageddon, Poseidon. I watched Poseidon Adventure recently. I don't know what Megalodon is. Oh, Megagalodon. I don't know. I'm lost. Give him a thumbs up and a heart, though, because I love Winter to Remember. Anyway, that covers the questions. Foreheads. God seals his in his forehead. The Antichrist or Satan gets his in the other foreheads. It's the spiritual sealing. It's the spiritual overtaking of the body by the Spirit. God sends the goat world a strong delusion. At when? At the time of the lying signs and wonders. Well, what's those? Well, the false Christ and false prophet with great signs and wonders. Well, when's that? When he's in the temple. Stand in the holy place. Stand in the holy place. Anyway, the stand. Stand in the holy place. Flee Judea. Why you got to flee Judea? Because he just standed in the holy place. Well, thought our body was a holy place. Sheep's body's a holy place. But to the Jew, per Romans 11:25, who are still blind up until that point, it is lifted. God, I had a thought in another Bible verse and it came in and came right out. Let me pause and see if I can think of it before we end this. I can't think of it, but as I'm deleting everything, as I'm crossing everything off, if you're new and you've never gone over this with me before, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Notice they are separated because when God was saying this to Jeremiah, oh, Israel or the church was separated. There was a northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom of Israel was more of the pagan world, and Judah was still doing more of the right thing in line with God. But notice when it comes time to bring forth the new covenant, they're not separated. It just says This will be a new covenant I'll make with the house of Israel, because Israel is the church and the church is Israel. And we know that from Acts 7:38. This is he in the church in the wilderness, Mount Sinai, lively oracles, which are the 10 Commandments. It was simply referred to as the church. I'd like to see what that looks like in blueletter.com. I think I've looked it up before. Let's see. Yep, Acts 7:38 is already loaded. Oh, it's just act in here. The church, G 1577. Feminine noun. Why feminine? The bride. Gathering of citizens called out of their homes into a public place, an assembly. Assembly of people. The assembly of Israelites. The gathering or throng of men. In a Christian sense, the assembly of the Israelites. Well, guess that settles it. That's when it was used. Israel is the church and the church is Israel. We are grafted in Jews. We are a spiritual Jew. It is a circumcision of the heart, according to Romans. I went over that today in today's Bible study on my Bible study channel. Anyway, I'm getting worn out. Love y'all very much.